Speaking of children that are ill, are there any financial and medical benefits available to the undocumented? No, I thought the answer was no. And another thing, there were two financial figures I heard and a time frame, and I was just stunned that I lost part of it in translation. There's a $450 fee that must be filed every 2 years. By whom? By you?
It's a $495 fee now, and currently there was a story that came out on how the administration is actually looking to add another administrative fee on top of that if DACA were to survive the Supreme Court challenge.
And you have to file this every 2 years. Why?
So every 2 years, and that, so USCIS as an administration is self-funded, meaning they're funded by user fees, not by congressional appropriations. So anyone who applies, whether it's Lily, myself, or any other immigrant, our fees go to fund everything for that agency. The electrical bills, the employees, their benefits, everything is funded by the actual people applying. Not 1 cent comes from taxpayer dollars to fund USCIS. And so that's why the fee is so high and so absurd. And yet, the administration is thinking of, in the situation that DACA does survive the Supreme Court challenge, let's make it even harder for people to apply. Let's tack on an extra administrative fee.
So in addition to the $495, let's call it $500 for the sake of a fin. And then the people who are undocumented, have ill children, have no access to public, no food stamps, no anything.
No.
And that's
a
a misconception.
That's an absolute misconception. I mean, if I started this conversation, and the thing is, like, you were obviously like a non believing everything that Trump is saying audience. So, but if, usually when you start these things and you say, so do are undocumented immigrants eligible for public benefits, everybody raises their hand, because what we've been taught in this country is that they take stuff from us. If it weren't for the contributions of undocumented immigrants, Social Security right now we wouldn't have any, because they paid into it for so many years and can't access it. The only way that you can get medical attention if you're an undocumented immigrant is to go to the emergency room. Tell me how that makes sense financially in any way, right? When you hear this whole Democrats are going too far to the left saying that they're going to give undocumented immigrants health insurance in the presidential debate, there's no giving here. What the Democratic candidates are saying is you can pay full cost for health insurance if you live in this country. Full cost. No subsidies, no, right? You can pay for the health insurance that you will get. There's no giving. They're not eligible for anything. But, cynically, we give them what's called an ITIN, Individual Tax Identification Number. So they file taxes, they pay their taxes. If Lillian and Lewis hadn't filed and paid their taxes throughout her whole stay, even while she was undocumented, they wouldn't be in the situation. So they take your taxes, but it's not a Social Security number, it's an ITIN.